Far out in the deep, endless ocean, where the water shimmered as blue as cornflowers, stood a magnificent underwater kingdom. In this magical realm lived the mighty Sea King, along with his wise mother and his 6 beautiful daughters. Each princess was unique in her own way, full of life and wonder. They laughed, played, and decorated each other's hair with pearls and sea flowers. But among them, the youngest was different. She was quieter, more thoughtful, and perhaps the most beautiful of them all. While her sisters enjoyed the treasures of the sea, the youngest princess often drifted toward the surface, gazing upward with longing in her eyes. She dreamed of a world she had never seen, the world above the waves.
Grandmother, do humans live forever?
No, child, humans do not live as long as we do. But they possess something far more precious, an immortal soul.
Those words stayed in the young mermaid's heart. Years passed, and finally, the day she had been waiting for arrived, her 15th birthday. It was the age when she was allowed to rise to the surface for the very first time. Her heart raced with excitement as she swam upward through the glowing water. When she broke through the surface, a whole new world unfolded before her. The sky stretched endlessly above, painted in soft colors of twilight. And not far away, she saw a grand ship floating on the waves, glowing with lights like stars. Curious and filled with wonder, she swam closer. On the ship, music played and laughter echoed through the night. It was a celebration, a birthday celebration for a prince. And when she saw him, her heart stopped. He was more handsome than any statue she had ever seen. But suddenly, the sky darkened, the winds roared. A violent storm erupted without being tore through the sky. Sailors shouted in panic.
The hull is cracking! Bell water!
But it was too late. A bolt of lightning struck the mast, splitting it apart. The ship trembled, then broke, and slowly began to sink into the dark ocean below. The young prince was thrown into the sea, unconscious and sinking deeper into the cold darkness. The little mermaid's heart filled with fear.
He must not die.
Without hesitation, she rushed forward, catching him in her arms. With all her strength, she swam upward, fighting against the waves. Finally, as the storm faded and morning light touched the sea, she reached the shore. Gently, she laid the prince on the sand. For a moment, she looked at him, her heart full of love she couldn't explain. But suddenly, she heard footsteps approaching. Frightened, she slipped back into the sea. A young maiden from a nearby temple found the prince and cared for him. When he awoke, he believed that she had saved his life. From that day on, the little mermaid could not forget him. Her heart longed for the prince and for the immortal soul she had heard about. Desperate, she made a dangerous decision. She would leave her home and seek the sea witch. Through dark waters and twisted forests of seaweed, she swam to the most feared place in the ocean, the witch's lair. The sea witch was already waiting.
I know what you want. You want legs to walk among humans, to be with your prince. I will grant your wish, but every step you take will feel like walking on sharp knives. And there is more. If the prince marries another, your heart will break and you will turn into sea foam at sunrise.
The price was terrible.
I accept.
But her love was stronger than her fear.
Then give me your voice.
The Little Mermaid's voice was the most beautiful in all the seas, but she surrendered it without hesitation. The witch took it away.
Go, swim to the shore. Drink this potion before sunrise.
Clutching the glowing liquid, the mermaid swam away, leaving her home, her family, her world forever. She reached the shore just as Gon approached. With trembling hands, she drank the potion. Instantly, pain surged through her body like fire and swords. Her tail split and transformed into legs. She collapsed on the sand as the sun rose. Moments later, the prince found her.
Who are you? Can you speak?
He was kind and gentle, just as she remembered. He looked at her with concern. She could only look at him with love in her eyes. He took her in and cared for her. She became his companion, always by his side. But every step she took was agony. Still, she smiled. Still, she stayed. Because she loved him. Days passed and they grew close. The prince trusted her deeply, sharing his thoughts and dreams. But he often spoke of the girl he believed had saved his life, the maiden from the temple.
I must find her. I must marry her.
The Little Mermaid's heart shattered silently. She wanted to tell him the truth, but she had no voice. Soon, they traveled to a neighboring kingdom. And there, they found the princess. It was the same maiden from the temple. The prince smiled with joy.
It was you. You saved me.
The wedding was arranged. The Little Mermaid stood by, her heart breaking with every passing moment. That night, the ship was filled with music and celebration. She danced, her final dance, hiding her pain behind a smile, because she knew, at sunrise, she would cease to exist. Later that night, her sisters rose from the sea. They looked desperate.
We made a deal with the sea witch. This knife can save you. If you kill the prince before sunrise, you will become a mermaid again.
The Little Mermaid took the knife. She walked silently to where the prince slept. Her hands trembled. She raised the blade, but then she looked at him. Peaceful, kind, the one she loved more than her own life. Tears filled her eyes. No, she whispered in her heart. She could not do it. She threw the knife into the sea. At that moment, the sun began to rise. She closed her eyes, ready to disappear forever. But suddenly, a hand caught hers.
Wait!
Memories rushed back to him.
It was you. You saved me. I love you.
At that very moment, true love broke the spell. Her voice returned. Her life was saved. The curse was gone. The prince held her close, and the ocean itself seemed to rejoice. The princess smiled, understanding everything. And soon, a new wedding was celebrated, one filled with true love and joy. The prince placed a ring on her finger. The Little Mermaid, who had once longed for a soul, found it, not through magic, but through the purity of her heart. And from that day on, they lived happily ever after.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And please like and comment.
Thanks for watching.